Cowboys Nation, hold on to your hats. We've got a perfect storm brewing in Dallas, and it's not just the weather. Zack Martin's back is acting up, Zeke's stirring the pot from New England, and Dak's personal life is under the microscope. Is this the drama that derails our season, or the fire that forges a champion? Buckle up, folks, we're diving deep into the latest Cowboys headlines that have everyone talking. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We've got some juicy headlines to dive into today. We're talking injuries, playing time drama, and even some off-field controversy. So grab your popcorn and let's break down the latest news coming out of Jerry World. First up, we've got some concerning news about our all-pro guard, Zack Martin. The big man's been dealing with a back injury, and let me tell you folks, this is not something we want to hear. Martin's been the anchor of our offensive line for years now, and anytime he's not at 100%, it's a major cause for concern. Sources close to the team are saying Martin tweaked his back during a recent practice session. Now, we all know Zack's a tough SOB, but back injuries are no joke. Remember Tony Romo? Yeah, I don't want to go down that road again. The coaching staff is being tight-lipped about the severity, but you can bet your bottom dollar they're sweating bullets behind closed doors. What does this mean for our offensive line? Well, if Martin's forced to miss any time, we're looking at a serious reshuffling up front. Connor McGovern would likely slide over to right guard, but let's be real, there's no replacing a player of Martin's caliber. This could spell trouble for our run game and Dak's protection. Speaking of our run game, let's talk about the Ezekiel Elliott situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't we move on from Zeke? Well, apparently, old habits die hard because our former star running back is making waves again. Word on the street is that Zeke's been blowing up the phones of our coaching staff, expressing his frustration over his usage with the New England Patriots. That's right, folks. Elliott, who signed with the Pats in the offseason, is reportedly unhappy with his role in Bill Belichick's offense. He's been splitting carries with Ramondre Stevenson and isn't getting the workhorse treatment he was used to in Dallas. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Instead of taking it up with his current coaches, Zeke's reaching out to his old Dallas connections. Some of you might be thinking, why should we care? He's not our problem anymore. But here's the thing, this situation could have some interesting ripple effects. For one, it shows that Zeke still has a strong connection to our organization. Could we be looking at a potential reunion down the line? It's not out of the question, especially if Tony Pollard doesn't pan out as our full-time lead back. Moreover, this whole situation is putting our coaching staff in an awkward position. Do they offer advice to a former player, potentially straining relationships with another NFL team? Or do they keep Zeke at arm's length and risk alienating a guy who was a huge part of our franchise for years? It's a delicate balance, and how they handle it could tell us a lot about the culture Jerry Jones is trying to build in Dallas. But wait, there's more. We can't ignore the elephant in the room, the Dak Prescott controversy. Our franchise QB has been making headlines lately, and not for his performance on the field. Dak's been vocal about his displeasure with the media's invasion of his personal life, and let me tell you, things are getting heated. It all started when a certain gossip site published some, let's say, intimate details about Dak's relationship status. Now, we all know Dak's a private guy, and he's always tried to keep his personal life out of the spotlight. But this latest breach of privacy seems to have struck a nerve. Prescott held an impromptu press conference where he didn't mince words. He called out the media for crossing the line and urged them to focus on his on-field performance rather than his off-field activities. "I'm here to play football," Doc said, visibly frustrated. "What happens in my personal life is just that personal. I'd appreciate it if we could keep the focus where it belongs on winning games for the Dallas Cowboys." Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, "Comes with the territory, Doc. You're the face of the most valuable franchise in sports." And sure, there's some truth to that. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. This whole situation raises some interesting questions about the relationship between athletes and the media in the age of social media and 24/7 news cycles. Where do we draw the line between public interest and personal privacy? And more importantly, how does this kind of off-field drama affect a player's on-field performance? I've got to say, I'm a little worried about how this might impact Doc's focus heading into our crucial matchup against the Eagles. We need our QB firing on all cylinders, not distracted by tabloid nonsense. On the flip side, maybe this lights a fire under Doc. We've seen him use criticism as motivation before, turning doubters into believers with clutch performances. So, what does all this mean for the Cowboys moving forward? Well, let's break it down. First, the Zack Martin injury situation needs to be monitored closely. If he's out for an extended period, we might need to look at bringing in some offensive line depth. Keep an eye on the waiver wire and potential trade targets. As for the Zeke drama, it's a reminder that the NFL is a small world. Relationships matter, and how our organization handles this situation could have long-term implications. Don't be surprised if we see Elliott back in a Cowboys uniform someday, especially if our run game struggles this season. And finally, the Dak Prescott controversy. This is a pivotal moment for our franchise QB. How he handles this adversity could define his legacy in Dallas. Will he use it as motivation to silence the critics? Or will it become a distraction that derails our season? One thing's for sure, there's never a dull moment in Cowboys Nation. We've got injuries, we've got drama, we've got controversy. But at the end of the day, what matters most is what happens between those white lines on Sunday. So what do you think, Cowboys fans? Are you worried about Martin's back? Do you think we'll see Zeke in a Cowboys uniform again? And how do you feel about the media's treatment of Doc? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more Cowboys content.